FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I represent Bahamian people. I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up in town, bro. Boy, I from Dayton, bro. Right between West and Augusta, where them two roads meet, they call it Wilkinson Street. Manners and respect was like a sign blank check. It seems the ones that coming after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it grieve me. But I doing the best I can, trying to turn my dollar to 100 grand. I represent the ghetto people. I from Nassau, Bahamas.
Good night, Bahamas, and welcome to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. I am your host, Valentino, host of the talk show Inside in the City that premieres every Friday at 6:30 to 8 p.m. Our telephone numbers tonight are 323-6232, 325-4316, and 325-4259. And you can text us, powered by BTC, at 422GR96. And also you can listen on cable Bahamas, I think. You can go to 961 next station, and you can listen into Guardian Radio and listen to the show live. I also want to thank each and every one of you who are listening now to Inside in the City, because I know it's a Friday night. Most people are enjoying themselves, but they also like to listen to the show because the show really talks about us. Many people like, oh, I'm outspoken, I'm truthful, I'm fair, but I speak about the things that needs to be spoken about in the country when a lot of people were not there to speak about the truth and injustice going on in our country. The reason I do that is because I want a better country. I come from a terrible background, and I have committed myself and transformed myself into being a noble citizen, meaning I changed a lot of my ways. I changed the way I used to think. I look at the world in a different perspective. When I look back at my old life and I see the resemblance in this life with many different people having those same characteristics, I see it and I try to correct it, not to attack it, but to address it by speaking on the matter. So I'm very thankful to each and every one of you that you love the show, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm also doing this to encourage other people to look at life in a different perspective, and let's see if we just could uplift one another to make a better Bahamas, because only we can do it collectively as a team in this country. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, and I hope you enjoy the show tonight. I was going to have a special guest in tonight, Paul Mills. He's the secretary of the Bahamas. Oh, excuse me. 1 second. Yeah, he is the secretary of the. Oh man, I'm so tired. But anyway, of the Fisheries Association, Bahamas Fisheries Association in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and he was going to talk about a number of topics tonight, but he was unable to make it tonight. But some of the topics he were going to discuss, concerning Starrich Bahamian, and I know Paul Melis, as a secretary, he is a real Bahamian. He fights for the rights of Bahamians. So before I go into my next topic, because he's not here tonight, I'd just like to share you what he was going to discuss tonight, and then probably sometime this week, in this month, in December, we would have him come back on, rebook him. But he couldn't make it tonight because of, it's Thanksgiving, certain family events they're having around this time. He stated that the National Fisheries Association is gravely concerned with the state of the fishing industry. We are faced with new and unpreceded challenges that have come suddenly and without any direct consultation, meaning that, the fisheries was not notified and laws are just being passed, and it's just like, well, whatever. He's talking about the new vessel registration fees are making boat ownership unaffordable for all Bahamians. So I'm guessing he's saying the increase in prices for the boat fees is ridiculous in the country. And you can imagine, my cousin was talking about it earlier today and yesterday, and a few times we talked about it. And Paul, he addresses this also. He said, this is the Bahamas. We are native. This is our natural environment, and we shouldn't be charged ridiculous prices to get our boats, registered in the country. We're supposed to be the lowest. If anyone's going to be able to get a high boat registry, it's like when I look at the news and I look at the Bahamas, I even see that that capsule would exploded, with those billionaires, a few months ago. That was registered in the Bahamas, not, and that was a billionaire, and that was a billionaire company, and that was registered in the Bahamas. And the Bahamas has one of the largest boat registry in probably in the world. There are a lot of ships, that are not from the Bahamas, but are directly registered here through different channels and companies here. So, we could charge them ridiculous prices, because they use our waterways and they use the license from the Bahamas to go anywhere in the world. Reason why? We are no threat to no country in the world, okay? We don't have no nuclear weapons. We don't have no bombs. We don't have no warplane. We don't have no tanks, so we're in threat to nobody. So everyone loves the Bahamas. So once our flag is shown, we could go in any country, jurisdiction, international water, you could get a free pass, okay? So that's why it needs to be looked into. But the natives here who live in the country with these ridiculous prices they're charging to get your boat registered in the country, it should not be accepted. It should not be unheard. It should not be even be put on the books to even consider that, because this is the Bahamas. We have 700 islands, 700 keys, you understand? And it's our right as Bahamians, especially we're an island nation, even though we become a concrete nation, and I think that's where we're going wrong, being a concrete jungle. I think we're supposed to be a concrete jungle on an island. We're trying to just become a concrete jungle, and that could be a big problem. We want to regulate everything. We want to regulate, like in the United States of America, they're trying to regulate the water that you drink. You can't turn on your sprinklers. We want to do that in the Bahamas. They have regulation on the fishing, yes. Our land and sea park has been protected for over 200 years in the country. And we, and Andres, we have the best, what we call that? We call it the tongue of the ocean, but on the side of Andres, we feed the world of fish because of the restrictions we have on no long-line fishing. You can't use certain scuba gear. You can't use tanks, no compressors. Certain compressors you can't use. You can't use. You not allowed to, use certain nets. So we protect our fish. That's why we have such abundance of fishes from around the world, and they spawn out to different parts of the world because we have protection. So our regulation, far as concerned, is protecting it. It's quite good. But now we are trying to regulate and put high prices on Bahamians in the country. No, you can't put high prices, taxes on the Bahamian people to register their boat. No, you put it on all those ships that register in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas that do not reside in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Citizens don't own those ships. And we have one of the largest registry of ships that are registered in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, but they are not Bahamians. So if we're going to increase taxes on the locals, I think that's a no-no. All we need to do is collect all the revenue of the ship registered to foreign companies and organizations that don't reside here, put that in the treasury, and then lower the boat registry for Bahamians. Okay? That's just some of the stuff you want to talk about. That's my 2 cents on that. Other thing they want to talk about is the new fishing regulation are being pushed through without approval from the national fisheries stakeholders forum. That means they're not advising them, they're not being informed. The government and parties to be are just going ahead with it. Like the fisheries regulations association does not exist. Okay, and then they want to talk about the key fishery habitat is being destroyed by endless large coastal development without concern for the sustainable of coastal fisheries, risking access to seafood, to subsistence fisheries across the Bahamas. So that means people are damaging the corals and stuff. Listen on the radio, on Guardian Radio News, and there are some destruction out Adelaide with the coral. So these things need to be looked into because these things are very important to the safety of the Bahamas. If the coral reefs get damaged in the Bahamas, you know what happens. It interferes with the fish, it interferes with the weather, it interferes with everything, and it can be devastating to the Bahamas. So this is no joking matter. And I'm an environmentalist, I'm an environmentalist. I love animals, I love the sea, I love everything about, nature. He also wants to talk about questioning the removal of the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Clay Sweden, for his post, despite being a fisherman and qualified to lead the government efforts. That's 4. They also say lack of outreach to the major fishing organization by the government on major decisions impacting the fishing industries. So stuff like that, they want to talk about. And there's some very important matters that needs to be discussed because Bahamian voice, and like I always say, we Bahamians have become a concrete jungle. Well, the Bahamas is not a concrete jungle. Yeah, we're building 2-story, 3-story, 4-story building. We're building all these, what we call them, settlements or subdivisions, cutting down all the trees, and doing all this stuff. That we can do these things, but we also have to preserve nature and understand that trees play a vital role to the health of the country, and we must remember that. You understand? So, yeah, stuff like that. So, and it's very important that we encourage also the next generation of Bahamians to get themselves involved in being a fisherman, learning about the sea, learning about the season, the grouper season, learning about the conch season, learning about the shrimp. There's 200 passing through in the Bahamas, there's mackerels, there's so much money that can be made in the fishing industries in this country. That's why, as a advocate, I speak on the matter that we really introduce fishing and the rules of engagement of fishing and the benefits to the next generation of Bahamian, because, we talk about drugs, but that out there in the sea, that is the real drugs, You just have to go and prepare yourself, get the best set of equipment, be a team player with your fellow fishermen, work together, let the boat get their share, You can make thousands and thousands of dollars, Make sure that, you don't underfish means you get the right size fish. So before you become a fisherman, you know the basic, you know the season, what size conch to pull out the water, the male, the female, what time is reproductive, if you get a fish, group or something that probably need to let it go, et cetera, or conch or something like that, you just know the basic. You're not just going to go in the ocean and just shoot everything you see. You're going to be well prepared. So we need to put training in place also. But there's so much that can be learned as far as education about the fishing industry in the country. 50, 60 years ago, it was a very beneficial business in the country. But since we go on to fast food, Kentucky, McDonald's, we switch, we don't eat as much seafood as we used to, and the thing is, fish is good for the blood. Fish is good for cancer. Fish oil is good, it's healthy healthy meal, don't really get you sick. So it's good to consume. There's a lot of other good products in the ocean, like seaweed, for example. If you look around the world, the seaweed that you see on the beaches and stuff like that, they're some of the best medicine that you can probably find in the world. And out there in the sea, there are so much knowledge that can be learned by having the fisheries trading schools around the country. So much, a lot of medicine out there in the sea, more than online, I guess. Like I said, the seaweed is big business. We get conch shell, we have sports fishing in the country, where guests from around the world come to the Bahamas just to catch the big blue marlins and the barracudas and the bonefish, all this stuff, So there's so much to be learned, and unemployment don't have to be the way it is in this country. If we really utilize our resources, and our resources is the fishing industry, it's also part of the tourism industry. We ain't making no sense in this country because of the unemployment and poverty in this country. Because it don't compute in my brains, because right now we're on record pace when it comes to our tours arrival by boat and by plane. It is estimated that we hit 7.7 million visitors. I think this is the highest GPA, I'm going to call it, that we've had. I think it's increasing by the end of the year. We could be looking at 8.7 million or 9.9 million people visiting our shores. And there are millions of dollars being invested on Bay Street, where the tourists are stopping, shopping to the Bayman stores along the waterfronts, And the sad part about it is that the American currency, and we talked about this a few shows ago, it is more like you're going digital, and you're going to need to use cards and et cetera now. And Bahamians don't really, over the hill, don't really have that kind of technology. They do, but not in abundance like how everyone's supposed to be educated on it. Government is just pushing these agenda, but yet still we have a population that educated in a sense, but not trained in a sense to know how to gather up all the information and to go and do all of these, what you're going to call digital, because cash is going to be relevant in the next 50 to 100 years. And everything is just going to be, chip and swipe card and, So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of new opportunities that can be created in the fishing industry in the country. Like I said, the tourism industry, 7.7. We could go anywhere to 8 to 9 million by the end of December. And we have a high arrival estimate for 2025. We'll be on record pace from January to December, at least from December to December of this year, 2023 and 2024, yeah. And going into the new year, and in part of New Year, December, we're looking at record pace, probably anywhere to 10 million visitors coming to our shores every day by air, by plane, by boat, And when we look at what comes over the hill, I see Byron, he has a sticky hut, very successful businessman. I watch him as a young boy transform that business from just selling coconut water and conch shell to now he has made himself a successful business where he hires up to 20 to 30 employees. When I asked him about 3 years ago, he sponsored the show, live show he said that he pays his employees anywhere from $1.2 million per year. So he is a million. He's a millionaire in his way, and he's helping others. But the whole point I'm trying to say is that the money that he pays his employees, $300-400, most of them would take that and go over the hill. Wherever they live, they could be living in Camp Road, or they can be living Fox Hill, Bainton, but basically they get paid in American currency because that's the money would gathered from the tourists coming off the ship. And that's how the little few $1 million gets over there. Few $1 million gets over there. And what happens is that when they stop the takeaway store and they'd spend $20 or $50 American, and then the store owner would break it. Then the other rest of them, people who work into the straw market, the taxi drivers, they're doing the same thing in various parts of the community. So that's how American money gets into the economy and in the city. But that's the slowest pace ever, because when you look at it, what is collected on Bay Street in a year time with the 7.7 million visitors visiting our shore, that could be anywhere 300 million made. And then what you're looking coming over the hill from the employees by Tiki Hut, Joey's Restaurant and Bar, Drifters Restaurant and Bar, and and all those restaurants and stuff on Fish Fry and on Jonkunu Beach. Only a little $1-2 million coming over. And that can't compute. You understand? That can't compute. But when you're looking at what makes on that script, like I said, $300 million. So if we're looking at why so much people are unemployed in the country, it's because we are not tapping into the market that we need to tap into. Okay? Visitors coming to the Bahamas are not guests. Okay? Let me tell you what it is. They are customers. Okay? Slavery days over a long time ago. And when we look at tourists, they are customers. Yes, they are guests. We would treat them with hospitality. But them visiting the Bahamas is to bring money in the economy so that we could get rid of unemployment in this country. So if we have 7.7 visitors this year, we still have high unemployment, despite the government claims that unemployment now is in 15 years. And I give them credit for that on their statistics. But why? Think about that. Why? And there's not millions of American dollars floating around on the inner city communities of Nassau, New Providence. But yet still on Bay Street, it's just American currency. From one end of Bay Street to Portisky Dock, to all the Pope Deck, and to all of those exclusive companies that will form, all of them have American money. But in the inner city community, we have less. If any behemoth want American money, they probably have to go to the small local drug dealer who would accumulate some of the money from the different people who would come to him and bring American money to taxi, when this taxi driver or this person spending. You understand? And that's how we got to look at it. And then it's the fear. Like we're using crime as a way to say, we can't let the Bahamian people interact with the customers. But that is ridiculous. I'm going to come to you in a minute. It's ridiculous. They won't think like that. If you look at the crime statistics in the country, right now we're up to 77 murders? Black on black. Not one tourist have been killed with a firearm come to this country. So we had 7.7 million visitors from around the world that has come to the Bahamas. White, Caucasian, Chinese, Japanese, Australians. And they come to the Bahamas. They've been here. Yet still we getting travel advisory from around countries around the world saying that the Bahamas is a dangerous place. But yet still, see, this is a trickery that I study. No one come up with this. I've been saying this for years. This is my statistics, and I've been given many statistics similar to this. Think about this. We have 70-some murders. But if you look at all the murders, it's black on black. 7 million visitors visiting the shores. Not one of being killed with a firearm. Now, it do happen. But most Bahamians are not stupid enough to go out there and mess around with our bread and butter. Now, we have robberies. Sometimes might be rape, sometimes not be rape. Yucking place. Those things happen around the world. But if you look at it, when it comes to harming tourists, our statistics are like 0%. But we get travel advisory. We get the police wouldn't allow the tourists to come over there, and the minute you're walking over the hill, they telling you, go back. But I've been bringing guests in our community for the last 20, 30 years. I just had in the community along with my partners, Lenahan, Bahamas, East Street Gospel Chapel Church. I had the British Royal Navy here 2 months ago. Now, these guys had a battleship parked in the harbor. They didn't ask for protection from the Royal Bahamas Police Force or the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. They put in the hands of the community leader, with them community developer now, on Lenahan, Bahamas. And I was turned over as the sub-lieutenant, and I was giving orders to the British soldiers. And they were up and down Lewis Street. You understand? Then, 2 weeks ago, we had the U.S. Navy down here. And they did the same thing. Then we just had the University of Florida down here with the women's basketball team playing on the park on H Creek. It's ridiculous. But anyway, we're going to take this call. Let me see if I can get this call on. Go ahead, caller. You're on inside in the city. Caller, you there? Try it again. Caller, you there? Oh, I missed that. But anyway, like I said, you could try call back. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You know, we are branded. And the stupidity of many of our citizens, they would see the tourists coming over there. And the first thing they say, where y'all going? Y'all best go back over there. You down on your own self. So I get you on, caller. Go ahead, caller. Let me see. Caller, you there? I know. You have to give it some time. The producer just stepped out for a minute or so. So you could comment later on in the show. And yes, we have millions of dollars that pass through the country on Bay Street. And only a few dollars comes over. That's crazy. So, if it make any sense to you, like how I'm picking it apart to show you how we down ourselves. And tourists are walking over the hill every day, you know. Every day tourists are walking over the sidewalks that was put in place by the Ingham administration and continued under the PLP administration. And one of the reasons those sidewalks were made in the first place was to make a gateway for the guests, customers to walk down in the inner city communities and see old Nassau. Oh, the phone line is going crazy. Trying to get call you there? I know. Anyway. So we bring one another down, and like I said, we have people who would see the guests coming over the hill, and they would, where you all going? Y'all don't know what down there. No, that's for us. See, saying that to the tourists is like you were saying to them, it's dangerous down there. No, it's dangerous for you. It's dangerous for us because we have a black on black problem where if you look at it every year, we have close to 100 Bahamians getting killed in the country. We have more tourists die of traffic fatality in this country than you're going to ever hear about gunshot or knife traffic fatality or drowning or shark bite. They're going to die because of accidents. They're not going to die of a Bahamian poison. Rarely. They're not going to die of a gunman who done being involved in all kind of shooting on inner city communities, taking a gun and going down there. And as bad and as rough and as dangerous as he is, he don't have the nerve to take a gun and go down there and say he's going to shoot up Bay Street or to go kill a tourist from Australia or America or Canada. He don't have the nerve because those people don't compute in his mind. In fact, the majority of the humans fear the tourists, okay? Because I introduced them to many of the guys in my community, and some of the roughest and toughest guys I knew was afraid to even speak to the guests in the community. I had to coax them. They didn't even know what to say, how to approach, or what kind of conversation to have with the guests. And then we just started off a little simple. No tourist is no threat when they come to the Bahamas. Their lives is never in danger. Okay? So the tourism industry and all the government investment that they are investing in, in the billions, Chester Cooper, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister, major investments in their constituencies. And they invest in where their constituents can benefit from the investments that they acquired from many different companies in the country. And I can see the phone line lighting up. I'm trying to, but we just have to cope with it. Still get some time. And major investments, and they invested in the tourism industry because they know the Prime Minister knows this. He knows if he want to bring empowerment to Cat Island. The Deputy Prime Minister knows if he want to bring some type of empowerment, he has to come with some type of development that is going to attract the tourists. If you notice the Deputy Prime Minister when he was speaking, notice what he was speaking on. Yeah. The producer just stepped in, so if you're still online, you could call back and give your comments. You can give your comments, okay? Yeah, because they know if they want to help people, they're going to have to come up with strategical ideas and ideas like, what you call it? A, B, and B, small motels, jet ski, encouraging the citizens, to get loans to build small local homes and Airbnb so that the residents, when the guests reach, and like I say, their customers, they can benefit from it. To get those credit cards and et cetera. Okay, so we're going to take this call. Go ahead, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Brown. How are you?
I'm fine.
You're one of your most favorite listeners.
Go ahead, sir.
Listen, I remember as a child growing up, the taxi drivers used to bring the tourists over the hill to experience the over-the-hill food.
Yes, sir.
Now, you don't see that anymore.
No more.
And I would think restaurants over the hill would give the taxi drivers a little incentive every time he brings, like when they go on the tours, look, They could say, I got my favorite spot I go to eat here. You all want to go and have a bite to check out the food to see if you like it? That's bringing the money over the hill.
Yes, sir.
And these are the things we do instill in our people. But we teaching them to go to the moon. And we ain't never going to the moon. Like you said, the young man couldn't even spend a conversation with the fellows from the battleship.
And, sir, you might believe these were the guys who doing the most serious
they're
set of
the baddest
crimes
guys
in the
on the
country.
block.
And then, go ahead, sir. Let me let you finish.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what you said. These are the baddest guys on the block. They wouldn't think nothing about shooting another brother. But if you try to get them in an intelligent conversation, they become frustrated and start cussing and carrying on, and they won't even pull out their gun. Because you making them mad. You see, all they know is they're getting mad, but they don't even know what they're getting mad about. But because they cannot conversate, and they're not trying to learn, and I always just tell my students, people are not going to teach bad people or rude children anything. If you don't submit yourself and have manners and respect, nobody's going to fool with you. And one day you're not going to be as young and powerful or strong as you used to be, and you're going to grow old. And I ask them, I say, you see all these young old men around here? They were once young, but they wasted their time.
And they don't have a house, car, can't even help their children, can't even help their own children. Their children asking them to buy them something to eat, or they need some place to stay, and the father can't even do that for their children.
And I said, but not only that, I said, they are somebody's child, the people on the street or the old. Where's his family? But nobody wants to fool. I guess they're tired because he don't want to do any better. He or she doesn't want to do any better.
And it's a lot of stress on people. Boy.
It comes down to
empowerment.
Back to what I always say, education.
Yes, sir.
Let's sit down and talk more about the general life.
Yes, sir.
General existence.
Yes, sir.
It's good to talk your little math and your proper English and your science and biology. Yes, all that you need to know so you can make better decisions.
Yes, sir.
But how many of us are going to be scientists?
Right. And the point you're trying to say, we are island. Let's utilize our skills as island people.
Yes. And let's try to get the tourists back over the hill.
Yes, sir.
That is how most of the money is going to trickle down to us if we expect to get a part of the lion's share of the money.
You get that right, sir, because it's billions and billions making.
Yeah, but the tourists want to come, but it seems like the taxi drivers are not interested in bringing them over the hill anymore. I'm sure a couple of them would come. Out of 8 million people, you must get 100,000 people during the course of the year to come over the hill.
That's why, I'm encouraging people to be creative in their community, cleaning up your community, set your little fish fry up, and make sure that the old cars go, and, you start sending the flyers and tell the taxi drivers to come to. I'm doing it now in our community as you speak up now, I have enormous talking.
I got a pastor. I saw you building your place.
Yes, sir.
I haven't seen it for a while.
So I'm just trying to encourage more people to get their little place set up. Mm-hmm. So we have a wide range of stops that the tourists, when they come in the Grandstand community, they have me to stop to. They have the little grain here down the road. They have Lenahan. They have the churches and everywhere, so we can have the coconut boys on the side of the road just selling the little coconut water, sky juice, and etc.
Scrooge,
yes, sir.
When you have your community activities, take 5 minutes out and talk to the children and let them know, look, we're expecting some guests.
Yes.
In. This is what you do. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Where are you from, sir? Oh, and you start to learn to speak.
Yes, sir.
A lot of them don't know how to speak.
Yes, sir. And how you were saying that the Lenahan organization, how they help the British and the U.S. people coming in, the colleges coming in, the kids are asking them the same questions. So their intellect skills are really improving. Their communications and their speaking skills are really improving. They know how to deal with Caucasian people, as I would say.
And some of those bad boys who think they're bad, you need to talk to say, look, man, one day you're going to be old, if you live.
So I don't have to tell them. I don't have to tell them that.
Well, I mean, they know that.
They could see the roadie playing with no voice.
Right.
them
Somehow
shorts.
they think they're invincible.
So them shorts, right? When I call them corn. They ain't playing with nobody. You giving them, you gotta take them as well.
And listen, I always say the shooter like to shoot at people, but he don't want to be shot at.
Cause he don't get the hot corn.
No, he don't want to feel like hot lead. That's a different experience altogether.
Why do you think when he do foolishness, you go hide or go to jail?
Because that hard lead ain't nothing to play with. But I always say they love to shoot at people, but when somebody starts shooting at them, you can't catch them. They turn that corner so deep, sound in their pocket.
Of course, other people get shoot.
Yeah, I mean they turn that corner so deep, sound be in their pocket when they shoot them. You don't laugh. I like to hear you laugh. Some of them turn them corners so tight and say, "Stand me in their pocket."
The shooter car, they will shoot them off fast. That's why other people. That's why so much innocent people get shoot, sir.
They hug them bed so tight, things just come over them.
But it's the same boys who just shoot up the club or shoot up one boy that day, sir.
But if you start shooting at him, you can't see. You don't do very good.
So you ain't making no sense. No,
he ain't making no sense.
Why you think all them aside? That's why I try and tell you. I had my share. So I need to tell them. I just want to give that advice to the young kids. Don't follow in our footsteps. But the set who 17 and 18, man, I tell you, I say, buddy, all I can tell you, I just leave this quote. The murder count is 90, right?
If you want to be 91.
So I know you don't kill 91 people this year, and I sure you don't kill 100 last year. Not a one or two you kill, right? If you think that could scare somebody, right? You done been in jail, and the time you've been in jail from 2 years, right? And in that 2 years, 240 people get killed. So you understand what I'm trying to tell them?
Yeah. Listen, have you ever heard anything about Joe Billy?
Yes, sir. Joe Billy Festival, yes, sir.
My mummy used to say, Joe Billy said, it ain't healthy, Sky. I can't use the accent word,
yes, sir.
I'll put something in place. It is not healthy fooling around when it's dark.
Yes, sir.
That ain't healthy. And nowadays, it ain't healthy in the day.
No.
That's how times have changed. One time ago, people used to do things in the dark.
Because the devil loose now, sir.
Now they doing it in broad daylight.
Yes, that's because...
So if you want to join the stiff toe gang,
go ahead.
Like you say, keep fooling around.
Keep fooling around. You ain't gonna miss it.
No. Listen, another thing I wanted to ask
you,
I was wondering. I was thinking the other day, the yellow grits, because you was talking about fishery and it made me think about it again.
Yes, sir.
The yellow grits that we eat so much of, is that produced in the Bahamas?
Well,
you know?
Well...
I'm wondering, because I want to know what can we produce to feed ourselves.
Well, so...
In the old days, the people used to grind the corn and get their yellow, what they call hominy.
So,
you don't hear that anymore.
So, I think we could grow anything in the Bahamas. I think we just need to put the education and knowledge there and apply it and make it mandatory in schools if kids are academically inclined to make trades available in different rarities so kids could pick and choose and let them go and help sponsor them.
Corn, all you do is grind that and you get the grits, the hominy.
So,
and that is something we can easily produce, and they down there at Bamsey, they should be produced, and that is something they can produce and sell to them. Because the yellow grits don't come in a professionally bag.
Yes,
it comes in a plastic bag.
There's so much stuff.
So it seems like they scoop it out and put it in the bag and weigh it.
Yes, sir.
So I'm wondering, where does this yellow grits come from?
Yes. Well, I think we can manufacture anything in the country.
Well, that's something for you to look up for me. So next time, I'll call you next week.
Yes, sir.
To get an answer on it, because I won't have the time to look it up.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
You did a wonderful job. Are we going to take this next call? Go ahead, caller. Sorry for taking so long. Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Yeah, good night.
Hello, Scrooge.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You're down a little too low. You can turn it up just a little bit.
Well, I talking loud, but you sound something wrong with the phone today, because I called you the first time. That what if you hang up on me or the phone hang up on me?
No, sir. I didn't hang up on you.
Yeah, I know you must think do that to spot you that quick.
No, sir. I don't do that.
All I had to say was good night, Scrooge, and then it was gone.
No, sir. I never do that.
And I keep calling back. It was busy, and you and the last caller sound like y'all was opening up a comedy show just now. You break on one piece of laughing when that fella say sound was in the fella corner, turn in the corner.
Yeah.
That made me slide down so low to the ground.
They were shooting.
That corner, he had a bullet headed in this direction. He outrun the bullet.
I ask most people, Sparky.
The bullet bounced off the wall.
Sparky guys who like do foolish like shooting.
You can imagine the fella going around the corner, but he ducking lower than the wall at the same time.
He tailed between his legs, and all he do is try to get away because he didn't get the hard leg.
I remember one time.
Yes, sir.
When we used to go skating up on Centerville, we call it Centerville, don't call it Centerville.
Yes, sir.
We used to do this thing what we call train. When we coming down on the sidewalk side, like
yes, sir.
Evangelist State Temple,
yes, sir.
we we coming down on the sidewalk. There'll be like 6 or 7 of us. And what we'll do is we line up one behind the other, and we'll hold on to each other's waist.
Mm.
And then we'll bow down on like our hip on the skates on the ground, and we call that the train.
Yes, sir.
Now, the trick of this was that when you reach to the entrance, the evangelistic temple, the one in the front, he swing in there. And the back of the train used to come around like a whip.
Yes.
And if you're to the back of the train, you don't know what to do. When the whip come around, it used to throw you down the sidewalk over by the 17th store.
Wow.
Now, the thing is, between evangelistic temple and the settlement, been a corner covered with some sand.
Okay.
Now, that'll slow it down.
Yeah,
We
strawberries.
went up there one Saturday morning. Now, we were supposed to clean our yard first before we could go out skating. But we not cleaning the yard, and we got up there fooling around, disobeying our parents. And one of the fellas to the back, he in the stage right there, named Clive Sands. He was to the whip to the back. And when he let loose and that thing slide him down on his jeans and all that sand, when we get up, all we could see was pink.
Strawberries. We call it strawberries.
Just pink. The sand rubbed through the jeans and rubbed through his skin.
Strawberries.
And like, it was like a pink flesh.
That's
but the blood
strawberry.
wasn't flowing. It was just like sitting there ready to come out.
Yeah, we call them strawberries.
We had to rush him home.
Boy, when he get... Boy,
We
when
had to rush him home. And when we rushed him home, we tell his mother what happened. And while he was in the bathtub showering to go to the hospital, she was in there with the bell beating him. He's in the shower and she beating him. But she had to take him to the hospital.
Because he gets strawberries.
Now, when he come home from the hospital,
He's
then
gone.
she had to tell her husband what happened to him. He told her another beating. But all that thing what happened is him. He get 2 beaten on top of that.
Yes, sir.
And Scrooge, you got a good show. A lot of people listen, but Scrooge, talking reality in this country, it appears like our social leaders, political leaders, and they so busy in their own program that they don't seem to listen to the people. They seem to only listen to us around election time when they want our act.
Yes, sir.
And once they get it there and become next to the king and right below the next you got the king first, the governor general, and then the prime minister. That's the order of the day.
That's the order of the day.
Order of the day. The king.
The king, the
He's
governor
still the king.
general.
No matter how independent he is, he's still the king.
He's still the king. We
And
serve
the
him.
governor general is the representative
Of the king, ambassador.
And nothing goes into law in the country unless the governor general signs that.
That's right.
Nothing goes into law unless the Senate signs that.
That's right.
And it comes down to, they call it the lower house,
That's right.
but we call it the bigger house.
That's why I always tell
The House
people.
of Assembly is actually the lower house.
I like how you explain it to them.
It's the lower house.
That's how government run
That's
people.
where they discuss things and get it. And the governor general got to say, okay, because they want to stay in another 5 years to get that money.
Yes, sir.
So they can sign off anyway, whatever the prime minister say. Y'all decide on it?
Yes, sir.
The governor just got to say, no, I disagree, I sign it. Well, the prime minister can change the governor.
Yeah.
You just write a letter to the queen.
Yeah.
To the king, I should say.
Yes, sir.
So what has happened is we always seem to be so far behind our brother right to the north of us, America. I remember working the Batelco. You remember when first thing the Beepers came out?
Mm-hmm.
We have home phone for you. Then the little small square thing on your pocket called the beeper.
Yeah.
Then Motorola came out. Hello, Moto. Then Nokia come.
Yes, sir.
Then Cellular come.
Yes, sir.
Then after Cellular, then Samsung come with a little phone you could text.
Yes, sir.
You couldn't take no picture then. Then BlackBerry come. Then the new smartphones come. I've been through telco and all that communication.
Yes, sir.
We was always but 5 years right behind Florida.
Yeah.
Right across the road, take 45 minutes to get over there. Florida had cellular before New Providence.
Yes, sir.
And some of the things with Seattle to talk about, with the technology, what he learned a long time ago, we 5 years behind everything. We always 5 years behind.
And we right there to Florida, in America.
And that's why, let me tell you something. I see why sometimes the tourists scared to come over the hill when they hear, you know.
Why you think they scared to come over?
I live in New Providence. I grew up in Chippendale, May the 4th, 1951. I used to be scared to go through some of these corners myself when I used to walk through barefoot.
Why?
Man, because you ain't know when fella be running behind the next fella through a yard, shooting something, and before you know it, when bullet comes from one of my air hole, it goes straight through the neck, and
Yes,
all I
sir.
do is walking down the road.
Yes, sir. I agree.
I scared to go through some of the corners where I grew up, but I used to walk through that barefoot.
And you know
I
that.
scared to drive through some of them corners.
And you know why a lot of people scared? This the one reason. Everyone just waiting on government. See, a person like me have been has shown that away. That's why we're making changes in our community. That's why so much development is happening in the Grandstand community to fight against square away shots and at-risk young youths in that particular community. Go ahead.
I remember I used to walk up in Camp Road in the night by myself, walk from Madero Street to Camp Road, White Sedition.
Neglect.
My girlfriend used to live through White Sedition.
Neglect happened.
I scared to drive up and through there.
I agree.
But I remember when I used to go down in Nassau Village to go places to buy chicken in the bag in the night or go shoot pools.
Yes, sir.
Down to some of the club and places.
Okay.
I scared to drive through Nassau Village.
Okay.
Because I know when fella go run off the basketball court after the next fellow with an AK-47.
Okay, thanks.
Spraying.
One more. You could say one more word before you go, please. We have some other people on the line.
Who they?
No, I say some other callers on the line. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I like to say, keep up the show, keep it real. But I wish our leaders and start listening to people. But we reached the point in
Yes,
our
sir.
lives now. We got to start helping the Bahamians.
Yes.
And stop helping the foreigners fight.
Yes, sir.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Sparky. You made some good, had some good words there, and that's the truth. For me as an individual and as a citizen, I have worked with Sir Lyndon Pinland, the late great Sir Lyndon Pinland. I got knowledge about politics from him. I got to understand like certain things about government. I also worked with former Prime Minister Perry Gladstone Christie. I have worked with numerous ministers of national security. Honorable Tommy Trancras, who I feel is the most passionate, understanding minister of national security I ever met. Having a personal relationship with Tommy, I thought he, was an uptight person, but come to think about it, meeting the person, he is one of the most reasonable person I've ever met as a minister. He take into account, he answers the phone call, and he is always on time, and he always could tell you if he can do something or not can do, or he is not going to be able to do it. I've worked with late great Dr. Brandon Nordich. I've worked with current minister Warren Miller. I work with former Minister of Education Jeffrey Lloyd, and like he says, when these guys get elected, I'm not referring to some of them, but they just don't have the passion for this. See, a lot of them don't understand. I'm not saying Warren Miller or some of them. They just don't have the passion for it. It takes citizens themselves to make change in this country. If you look at all the activism going on in this country right now, look at the people who are fighting for and make change. People who are on the inner city communities have their little platform and they're speaking on what they need to fight for. Like the Fishing Association, if young men them out there and they're saying that the government is increasing the fishing regulation prices, right? And they don't like it, right? So you guys get together as a team, have one spokesperson, you all support that person, and let them speak on behalf of the fishermen in the country. See, that's the kind of things would make changes. You see, for me, I'm speaking on it on the radio, but I'm also doing it in my community, And I want to say this. There are people, right, who, this is me personally, there are people in this country and in the community that would say, me, Valentino Brown, they call me, my original name is Scoochie, my nickname is Scoochie. Scrooge, they call me, a European gave me the name Scrooge, but my original name is Scoochie. The original Scrooge is Kelsey Lundy, and he lives in Scronscorner, and he has a restaurant and bar along with his beautiful wife, Melissa, on Ross Corner, and they have a restaurant, but my original name is Scoochie. So there are people out there, right, who would say that I getting all this money, right? And I ain't doing nothing for nobody. Let me say this to each and every one of you out there. I ain't like the rest of the people in the world. There's money received. It goes strictly to Lebanon, Bahamas. And the funds go directly to helping the old people in this community, to the kids, the back to school, the feeding program, the scholarship, the trips. See, I ain't like the rest of y'all where y'all have an organization name in your name and y'all's the treasurer. No. Something that I helped found it. I don't write checks. I see when Lucas and the organization show me the money you receive by special donors who know me personally. A lot of people from around the country, and they love what I'm doing. And they sponsor. And that's how we keep the organization going in the community. See, I ain't like the rest of these people in the country. Y'all don't get me mixed up. And for those who saying these type of things, and if I getting all the money, I deserve what I get, because ain't none of y'all help me. Not one of y'all. I live in that community, and you don't want to help me. You understand? No one has helped me in there. Huh? All should remember this. When I asked people from many years ago, let's get together. You know, it's difficult working with black people. You understand? Because the mind of the poverty, you know, they think negative about everyone. You know, they don't think everyone has a pure heart and honest. But I am honest, and I have a pure heart, and money don't move me. And they so stupid. I been around the corner working on my restaurant for 15 and 20 years. Buildings don't get built in the community, getting ready to open, and I battle it. And that's the concept of us. I ain't like y'all. And like I say, if I get any money, I deserve that. I don't think you don't want that. Who you want me to give it to? Who I supposed to do something for? Or who I don't do for? You know which people I just help all around the country? Every day, every minute, and you don't know? Send you to the church, send you this way, send you this way. You understand? So don't get me, I'm mixed up and think I like you guys. I'm doing something for my country, and I'm doing that sincerely, not with your help. Let me tell you where my help has come from. I know very well when I ask brothers, let's get together. Let's try and make some changes. Let's form an association. They see talk to some people, some white people. Oh, you getting all the money. Y'all think white people stupid, eh? Y'all don't know how white people is. Eh? Y'all think white people stupid. You think white people is going to just come to you and give you money. But you have to have a plan. And they have to see you sincere. You understand? And that's how things is work. Why think we getting all those donations? Because people know I'm honest and I'm trustworthy and I'm a team player. I ain't like y'all. Y'all don't get me mixed up. So I just saying that. Send a message. I ain't like y'all. You know what I say? I get funds from my people. I invest the funds that I receive to clean up the neighborhood. To keep on cleaning up Lower Street, Hay Street, Taylor Street in that community. For the last 15 years, I've been working personally, not with no government contract, with people who just, you know, and it's a back and forth. But guess what? After all that, after all hard work, our community is development. You understand? So don't get me mixed up with y'all people. You know? Y'all like money. That's the way y'all think. In my family, the Brown family, let me explain something. My family. My grandmother's name is Louise Brown. She passed away a few years ago. The most honest, decent person I know. She don't like people's business. She don't keep company. Hey? I take just after my grandmother. I don't like people things. Anyone know me? I tell you, I happy for everyone. And you ain't gonna see me. If money given out, you ain't gonna see me. All right? When money you get on election time, I done turn down all kind of money. Huh? All type. Because I have my integrity. And everyone notice. And everyone will tell you I turn down money from election. Because people don't give me money for election to go speak on behalf of them. No. Probably when you catch me when I was younger, when I was a fool. But I know that's going to do more harm than good for a person like in my statue to go out there and take money from any political party to say, hey, this candidate, he's a good man. Yeah, I do that as an individual because, like I said, I'm a community developer. Only if he is going to commit to doing some programs and putting some funds towards the programs that we have set in place in that particular community. And as the representative of that community, that's his job. That's the only thing I talk to MPs on. If there's a program and he can assist. Other than that, no. So to all of y'all, you don't help me in the community. Anyone doing anything for me, I pay money, I pay cash. The guys who've been cleaning up for the last couple of years, ask them. Ask them if I treat them bad. Ask them if I underpay them. Anyone who do any work for me, ask them if I owe them a dime. Huh? So yeah, that's the type of people we are. So I just want to send a message. Yeah. 723. And back to, yeah, man, we stink. I ain't like y'all people. If you listen to me on this radio, you ever see me come out here and tell a lie? Huh? I ain't a liar. Ain't nothing you could hear come out my mouth on this radio that I lie about, that I've not witnessed, that I've not seen with my eyes. And I ain't a coward. Hey? And I ain't a coward. And I ain't scared to speak up. I'd speak against the commissioner of police. I'd speak against the prime minister. I'd speak against the governor general if they're wrong. Right? But how many of you get the courage to come on a radio station and say those type of stuff? That should show you what type of person they is. Do you think people like in high places like a person like me, they respect me? Hey? But they don't like. But they respect me because many people told me they would wish they was in a position that I was in. You understand? Because they like what I'm doing. But not only in my country, for the world. To show that there's decent, honest people who care. And it ain't all about no money, fame, or trying to hurt people. It's about using the platform to send a message that there's still good people in this world. Yeah. So for all you guys out there, talking about, Brent Simmons, Mr. Simmons, that man, fool. Mr. Simmons, know I's a decent person. They want to help me and help the community. You think these people giving you any millions of dollars? No, it don't work like that. You're all a bunch of fools. All the ideology of the majority of people who are unemployed, who are uneducated, and stagnant in this community has to change, people. That's why it's so important that we bring education and we find a way on how we can utilize the skills of those people who are academically inclined. They're not good in maths, they're not good in English, but they might be good with ping, braiding, fisheries, good with there, good with making stuff, electronics, electrician, plumber. So we could get this, that's black crab syndromes where you're pulling on everybody and thinking everyone is alike. Everyone is not alike. Everyone don't think alike. And definitely, I ain't like everyone. I'm a rare species. I care for others. Before I succeed, I said, I want my restaurant be completed in a certain time frame. But at the same time, I want to see the area develop. I want to see the park utilized. I want to see 1 or 2 centers come up in the community where we could be able to empower the next generation. And that is happening. And I say I want the people to see that, I working as a team and we climbing together. Not me investing everything in me. No, I said, Lenahan, all the funds that people are donating towards the organization, I don't want to have nothing to do with that. The only thing I want to see is when the kids going on scholarships, when the kids going on trips, when the old people going on trips on Mother's Day and wherever they're going, and they getting their gift packs, and the kids getting their back to school, and people are giving the kids phone, and they're getting tennis for their excellent work, and I'm seeing all this, so I'm happy, I'm happy to see the transformation, and I'm very happy for all the people around the country who are being donated to Lennon Bombers, and I want each and every one of you to know that the funds is changing the dynamics of that community. So many kids are going off the scholarship. So many kids are getting trained in so many different programs. So many kids are getting meeting and interacting with people from around the world. Florida, England, Germany, France. Some are even getting adopted and, going. So it's just incredible. And I'm witnessing this with my own eyes. So I want to thank the Caucasian Bahamian community, because I know dealing with our own blacks with the mindset on how they think, we would never get that far in that community. That's why we have a broad range of Caucasian and black Bahamians working together, like Antonio Roberts, Ed Dorset from Eastwood Gospel Chapel Church. We have Pastor Hugh Roll doing his part at Salem Union Baptist Church. We have Bishop Ferguson with Big Harvest Community doing his thing through Woods Alley, and we're making that change. You understand? It's Sheila Pritchett, Coles of Nassau, the Bacardi family, the Sean Connery family. I'm talking about James Bond. His family donated to the cause of Lennon Bombers to contribute to the development of the community, because I knew that partnershiping and asking people for help and the right people, and they saw I was sincere, and it started off with one person, It started off with me first, and then I met Ms. Alexander Millis, and she turned me on to Lucas Metropolis. Okay? And when I met Ms. Alexander Millis from Ranfully Home, that's why I say, let me tell you all people out there, y'all don't get me mixed up. All right? Y'all don't know how I had to go out there and strategize and use the wisdom from the Father to come up with a strategic plan to try and eradicate poverty and crime and bring education and empowerment and opportunities to the community that I reside in. And also to use the areas to encourage others in their community to do the same thing. Adrian Fox is doing it with the Fox Foundation. You understand? Bishop Roll, singing Bishop, I love him to death, doing his thing. C.B. Moss, he have a health problem, and I think that's going to be it for him. So people don't know what I had to go on through. Ain't none of y'all help me? Not one of y'all, who helped me? Father. People hear me on this radio, and how people saying about Christianity. I don't believe in Christianity. I believe in believers. If you ask me, I believe in John the Baptist, yes, I do. If you ask me, I believe in Jesus, who was Yahshua, yes, I do. If you ask me, I believe in God, yes, I do. I know his name, Jehovah, or whatever you want to call him. I believe him. I just don't believe in Christianity because I know through Christianity, if it is done the right way in this country, and it's 21/7, 700 years, we would be the greatest country in the world if we are really, really Christians. That's what I feel, because we have close to 5,000 churches in this country. And Great Rome, right? Great Rome, where the majority of religion come from, don't have 5,000 churches. Go ahead, caller. You're on Inside Inner City on Guardian Radio.
Bless this Scrooge, Brian.
Good night. What you say?
Yeah, very interesting conversation, a diverse conversation, of course, right? And so when it comes to religion, sometimes, I think me and you on the same page as far as we have dissimilarities in our ideologies with the status quo Christian ideology. You understand what I'm saying, Scrooge?
Yes.
Everything that we was taught, if you can't think deviantly from that you mean your mind was bought by all sorts. I'm telling you this, Scrooge, because there was a guy on Howard Show the other day, and he was saying, like he was kind of insulted, but I agree with everything else he said as far as the Abrahamic chart and people using the Bible to say God was prejudiced, only the Jews, and people back in the Old Testament, God tell them to do this, kill all the non-virgins, slaughter the men, and take the cattle and whatever, and just the idea of what you read in the Old Testament. A lot of people say what God tell them to do. I don't really believe in all that. Some people say, they call it the Holy War. God tell them to do this one, slew this one, and we see where an incestuous relationship produced the wisest man, etc., etc. So we could go all down the line, and then he seems to deny the fact that even someone in my high school chat, when I told them, I quoted Hosea chapter 13, in which Anko was able to put me right on the spot, because I know I'd read it, but Anko just reminded me that it was Hosea 13. I am the Lord thy God, I come out of the land of Egypt. And black people had a problem with even hearing that. And so most of us, as we talk about Egypt, we talk about we talk about it as if it's separated from Africa.
No, all is Africa. All is Africa.
Yeah, but we don't understand the reason for the white man introducing a subject called Egyptology, so they can decipher the truth and determine your
Separated.
history. Yeah, because history is written by the winner. And so they would never talk about the black Nubian pharaohs and the black ancestry. Even I have, I love my mom. I have a black historical Bible that actually juxtaposes black people with Bible narratives and history, which we are an integral part of history. But they hide that, and so this preacher, he said everything. I love what he was saying and all. But what I hate what he said was, he hear people on the radio call us talking about Jesus was white or black. I mean, Jesus was black, and what difference does the color make? I was so angry with him. The thing is, he's a theologian, right? But I could send him to school in theology. I just hate to say that. A guy that lectures, the COB, invited me to be free of charge to a lecture. He said he has about 100 and something racists in his class. There's a class coming up sometime.
Yes, sir.
Or whatever. He invited me free of charge just to join the conversation and join it. You see what I'm saying? And so, what I believe, right, Scrooge, he was talking about education and et cetera, right? And I heard an educator was on the other day on the radio. She's very intelligent. I love the lady. But what I hate, you listening?
I listening.
The fact that they want me, and see, I don't buy what people saying about incline. Some people are more inclined, but I mean, all right, let's say you say electrician, right?
Yeah.
When I went to BTVI, we did equations, we did the logarithms, we did Ohm's law, and we did integers. We did all type of maths. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So when the math class started, the classes dropped. The numbers reduced, but these guys were fresh out of high school, and I've been out of school for years. But I didn't have a problem, See, I don't have a problem with learning. See, I hate when people say people are more inclined. The thing is, I didn't get any A level, but I got B's and C's and two D's, I think. But it was 7 or 8 that I passed, right? But I'm not more intelligent than anybody else. When I first went into my chemistry class, I really didn't have the mindset that I could learn this, but the teacher was so enthusiastic and so zealous towards teaching us until we started to begin to enjoy it, and then I started to learn it, and then you realize you could learn. But I hate when people make people believe as if they can't learn it. That happens sometimes in the classroom, but you have to teach. See, when the student is young, then me and you could relate to this. Sometimes the guy might not have breakfast. He might have watched mom slap mom. Somebody might be molesting him. The different scenarios lead to him being disengaged from what he, we had a guy in my primary school class. His name was, I don't want to call his name, but he was coming to school snotty up, and he wasn't always, he was unkempt and all these different things. But he was a friend of mine. And so back in the days, you didn't see that much. But what I'm saying is anyone could learn. Squishy is the desire to learn.
Hey, listen.
You can't isolate yourself.
Listen.
I understand what people are saying.
We turned the Bahamas into concrete jungle, brother. That's what we turning it into.
Yeah, Scoozy, but I agree with you totally. And so, listen to me what I'm saying. I'm so glad you brought this conversation, because I just had a conversation with my fiance.
It's an island, brother.
To Palmdale, but whatever we're touching on, we see like music, and we look at the government schools, etc. So music, art, science. So I was trying to get an in-depth, or maybe a journalist could go and do it. I asked her, do they have instruments? Because she graduated, she was much younger than me. I was trying to find, do they have instruments in the music classes? Is there any piano, or is there any public-private partnership? Is any, when you look at the way how the expenditure on the primary schools and the high schools, it is clear that the government doesn't really care about education.
No.
And so the most valuable resources is the human brains, and so the government know that. So the more they educate us, then the more advanced the country will be. Even when I went to Florida, I would see the Cuban guy with guys. I had a Cuban friend, fixing the forklifts and heavy-duty diesel trucks and converting in them to hydraulics, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so we haven't taken advantage of our proximity to Cuba, because when I worked in engineering, there would always be a guy who would come and fix the escalator. And so even though I did electrical, I still ventured into electronics. And so there's a young family member of mine, I encouraged him to do the electronics. He's very bright in school because he was the honor roll, head boy, et cetera, et cetera. So I hate this concept of just limiting people talking about they can use their hands. I tell you, you have to use your brains and your hands.
Of course.
Because even in plumbing, right?
It's brains?
Yeah, plumbers don't. Some plumbers they in the field, but they didn't learn the theory. You actually have you calculate pipe flow parameters, PSI, according to pipe diameter. All these different things that I've learned just from engineering. Pipe fitting and all these different things.
Yeah.
Even with electrical. So it's not. What I'm saying is, when you learn the theory, you become better at the practical.
Yeah.
So they interface one another, and that is the way to become a professional.
Yes.
I take over the lady upholstery shop, right, Scoozy?
I come to you. I come to you the same man now to come get some stuff for there.
Scoozy, I even hate making mistakes. I was working, must be 16 hours last night. But I worked so long, I couldn't even think no more, Scoozy. I just couldn't even believe, because I couldn't believe that I actually, but it happens. But I have to pay. So if this might have happened, maybe this is the second time it's happened in 10 years. I don't like to go and buy people material over, But what I'm saying is, when the politicians, et cetera, people make mistakes, we pay the price. When the doctor make the mistake, we pay the price. So what I'm saying is, I take so much pride in what they do, right? You understand me?
Yes, sir.
People who in this industry, the industry is so diverse. I can show them sewing machines and certain equipment.
They're the kind of stuff we need to teach in the schools, because if you look at it right now, let me give you a prime example. Right across from you, there's a place where I see some Haitian nationals, they Bahamians, and they collect the old fridge and old stoves and all that. I watch them guys fix them and make them brand new and sell them for $500-$600.
Yeah, because all they do is change the components.
So I'm just saying this to the general public out there, BTV wider, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And listen to this. You in a place right across from you, right?
Yeah.
I'm in the right. I'm in the right area, right?
Yeah.
I went there with a friend. We was passing. I get my gas tank from there. The guy there made a gas tank, and I bought the gas tank for $700 from right there, and he made it with his hand. Right there, the same place across the road.
Welding also is a good trade, Scoozy.
Okay.
What I did was, we had an old Frigidaire. So my brother wanted to discard the Frigidaire, so we ended up buying two fridges, right? And what happened is, me being an electrician, I take the evaporator motor, the condenser motor, all the motors out of the fridge before we discard it.
Yes, sir.
I know how to use them, so what I'm saying is it's simple, This is basic, but I just do that because of economics. And so, what you see the Haitian guys doing, that is because economics.
I'm a Jamaican guy, so I lying to you. I tell you, I don't tell lies. I witnessed that. I went there, like I said, personally.
Even right now with the upholstery school, some things I don't discard anymore.
All right.
Just because of economics.
Okay, all of them could refurnish.
Yes,
right.
And so I explained to you how I just do it. And so I try to be as frugal as possible, because I realize everything's...
All these are
trades. I don't believe in spending money wastefully. In a sense, the pandemic, I know that there's going to be another pandemic. You heard about disease X.
Yeah, man.
All right, so what's next?
Bill Gates, he said it. He said it, all this stuff on what did they gonna name? What you say?
Bill Gates' characters, that's how he look. You see his face?
Yeah, well, see.
Could you trust a face like that, Scoozy?
Huh?
Could you trust a face like that? Even though he has... See, a lot of us are very naive, Negroes are very naive. I hate the way how some of us think. You got a picture of Bill Gates wearing glasses, holding up a black infant in Africa with a needle in the background. And then a fool then, that's supposed to mean that he cares about you.
No, people are idiots. Some people are idiots,
Yeah, but Scoozy, when I was telling them, it's a psychological photo ops. It's a psyops.
You telling me what happening?
Just to hear myself,
You telling, man, brother, you're hearing yourself, because a lot of people see
but that's what they said to me, Scoozy, you heard the insult and the vitriol.
You weren't, but see, that's the thing right there.
With them. I
listen
just
to me.
Remind them.
Let me remind them. Listen to me. Just say, all kind of people that are criticizing me, right? You think I give a crap? I'm making progress. I'm doing things through the Father.
You're making some progress.
I'm doing things through the
but the
Father.
thing
But
is-
I'm just saying, I'm doing some progress through the Father. I'm not looking for no earthly prayers or no criticism for no. They don't matter to me.
But Scrooge, you hear me tell me on the radio when I say I wasn't looking for likes or dislikes.
Okay, so don't let that get to
I
you.
can go on YouTube, Scrooge.
A lot of people like you, you know.
I could make money on YouTube, even
Yeah.
with the poultry and all.
Yeah.
Even with a little bit of knowledge and just doing documentaries, because I have my own personal archives
Yeah.
of things documented in newspaper clippings like 20, 30 years ago. I can pull up
All
and
right.
show people.
I get one next. Think I'm so.
Bless up, respect.
Yeah. You know, you used to do an awesome job, man. You a talented man, bro. You don't have to try and prove nothing to nobody or whatever the situation. Like I tell the people, you know, some people around the corner, they look at me as a thing. You know, they look at it. They just people just naturally hate you because you're doing something that they wish they could do. But you know, the problem is, they don't have this. They don't have knowledge. They don't have wisdom. And they don't have understanding. And the most important thing they don't have kindness. They have a lot of envy and jealousy in them. I don't have them kind of stuff. When I was on the streets, I had those kind of stuff. But as I grown myself to change my mindset and go out and talk to a lot of politicians and pastors and, you know, meeting Michael Jackson, Magic Johnson, meeting Debbie Bartlett, meeting Perry Christie, meeting Mr. Simonet, meeting Tommy Turnergrass, meeting all kind of people from all kind of world, meeting senators from the United States, meeting queens from France and Germany and stuff like that. And my mindset changed, you understand? And my intellect changed. You understand? That's why I was able to get people to work together as a team for the betterment of the country. So, like I say, you know, you don't never have to worry about people, my brother. You understand? Never have to worry about people, you know. You understand? Because, like I say, people would go there and say things, but look at the progress. You understand? That just people, bro. You understand? That just us as a Black Rob syndrome people. You know? So we have a few more minutes, so I want to discuss something real quick. You know, the by-election just went where we had different parties vying for the vacant seat left by the late great O.B. Welshcombe, the Free National Movement with Mr. Grant, and then you had PLP trying to replace O.B. Welshcombe, which he was successful. And when we talk about politics, and you know, I mentioned last week, you know, that many of them who were before the court, and I ain't scared to call their name, they call their name. I know based on the evidence that I see as a young man, and I've had many criminal cases before the court, and I can tell you, you know, when people are guilty, but they won their case because technicality, and because they win the case of technicality, they get acquitted. That don't mean they're innocent. Okay? Now, they say a sitting politician can only get like 6 months to a year imprisonment for these kind of charges, right? So what I'm trying to say is this. I said that a lot of politicians, you know, PLP and FNM, like I say, I'm not discrediting the politics. I'm just trying to show you how it is affecting us very seriously in the country. And I mean, politics is everything in this country. Politics can slow down the country. Politics can make progress, slow progress. We make slow progress with politics in the country. Not the progress that we're supposed to have in this country. See, it's slow progress. You understand? In the country when it comes to the development. You know, when it comes to the development of the people. You see? So, you know, when I mention the fact that most politicians go into politics, you know, some with good intentions, but they get corrupted because, you know, they themselves, you know, they left a high-paying job. You know, some of these politicians who become politicians, you know, they doctors. You know, you can imagine former Prime Minister, Honorable Hubert Minnis. You know, he was like gynecologist, right? And, you know, he went in politics. He is making close to a couple $100,000 a year. So why would he, leave his high-paying job? And he's a private practitioner. Leave his high-paying job to go and be a member of parliament that actually earns no less than $100,000 per year. That don't compute. Just saying the same thing with former Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Bernard Norwich, the late great Dr. Bernard Norwich. He was the same thing too, and he born a lot of babies. They made millions in that field, and yearly they were making way more than what they was making in politics. So to me, people go into politics rich. Okay, and along the way, activists who do activism make them make changes. But other than that, these guys are lawmakers. So they're not really concerned about the Bahamian people. They have to maintain the status flow of government, and they have to keep government functional. Because Sparky said it earlier, it's the king, then it's the governor general, then it's the prime minister. And that's the truth, even though it's an independent country. You understand? And he gave a good definition of when he stated that, Sparky, he stated that, anything that the prime minister signs on, the governor general has to sign on as well. So that's central government, So there are two government. There's the parties, the PLP and FNM, right? And then there's central government. Central government continues, when it's a transition, when election is held, and then they go to see who wins the election. During that time, the governor general, the provision marshal, which is the commissioner of police, he assumes control of the country at advice of the governor general, and which is central government. So yes, all governments, PLP and FNM, their job is to make sure that government continues, but they also, make sure that members of the party who has contributed greatly, both on the PLP and the FNM, have to be rewarded. The former prime minister of the Free National Movement, I know he probably is listening to the show, and he said that when he won in 1997 with the landslide victory, he stated that he had too much ministers. In regards, he stated that having too much ministers, I guess that was over, 30-something, 40-something ministers, cabinet ministers, junior ministers. So he had to find employment for them. Now, what do the prime minister mean by employment for cabinet ministers and junior ministers? Well, in government, there are only certain government ministries that certain ministers are going to be charged and be in charge of. We have the prime minister, he's the minister of finance. We have Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, he's the minister of tourism. And then you have the minister of national security is Vian Munro, and he's the top spot. And then you have like Juan Miller and blah, blah, blah. And then, these the senior cabinet ministers. And then you have the junior, like Mr. Watson, Wade Watson, they junior ministers. So when you win in a landslide, a part of your party winning, you have to keep your members straight in order for you to have a functional party structure. You can't have no break guys in the party. So your job as the prime minister is to find work for the ministers, else they're going to be upset. They're going to rebel against you. And we could see that in the case of the last administration with, what's his name now? Frederick Markham Bang, and he was at it with former prime minister, and then one or two other ministers was having it out with ministers. And I just want to, say this, don't never listen to the noise in the noise in the market, because market buying was making them all kind of storm, and there are so many people support him on media and et cetera. So he's a good man. I don't know if he did it for publicity or whatever. I can't hear from him now. But while he was a minister, he's very outspoken. I don't know if he was trying to get a certain position from the Honorable Hubert minutes because most ministers try to favor the prime minister and get as close to him as possible because they know getting close to the prime minister and being the prime minister's friend, you get incentives. You know, but getting back to Muckleby, and, you know, he went independent and, you know, stated that the whole Freeport was going with him. But boy, I'm telling you, some of us believing people. Boy, you could be out just speaking the truth, fighting for them. But boy, when it comes down at the end of the day, with the PLP and the FNF, they can switch on you. And boy, when you listen, yeah, I can even get Muckleby, you even get whoa. You understand? And that should show you what type of people we are in some cases. You know, and some people saying, you know, he's a past, he should be involved in politics, yeah. So, yeah, Hubert Ingham said that, you know, he have to find employment for them. So that means he have to form and design other ministries. And in doing so, this is going to come with the taxpayers' pocket. That means me and you are going to have to pay for this new minister portfolio. You understand? And that's how these things run. And if you listen to the comments that the former prime minister stated, that's why he said a landslide during the election was problematic for him. And he says the same thing has happened to Brave Davis because Brave Davis is going to have to add on other ministries in order to facilitate and make the members of the body happy. And that's the bottom line. And if you was picking up between the lines, you would saw where former minister Shane Gibson, he was advocating to be the Oates chairman Fred Mitchell, and then compete for the seat in Freeport. And he said himself that, you know, if you want to make major decision in the body, you're going to have to win. What you call it now? I just said it just now. The chairman of the body, or be a strong member of parliament. So that's where our money goes, you know, to the large cabinet. So when we win a landslide and we all chair, and when we say, oh, I know minister need it, I know minister need it, and then Hubert didn't need it, and then Perry didn't need it, right? And then before all that, we give it to Lyndon after 25 years. But really, you know who really get it? Us. That's who really get it. You see? Because, you know, we're hired and fired, and it serves us right. Because, you know, they mess around, they disrespect us, and then we get agitated and we vote them out. You know, but why is we voting them out? And, you know, that's how we get our kicks, laughing at them. And we head to the polls, and they get beat by 700 votes in this polling division. And then when it's all said and done, you know, you in like landslides, so everyone's happy, you know, all this is cheering, you know. But at the end of the day, think about this. As bad as, and sometimes I'd say comments against former Prime Minister, Hubert Minister, not disrespectful as him as an individual, but him as a person who had power to help a lot of people, and because he was a doctor, he's supposed to be passionate and care about the people. You understand? And your personality, I would judge you by. But I know you could do better as a prime minister. You can't be that cold and heartless, to the people. You understand? And that's one of the reasons. But as a family man, you got to be a good husband, good father, in his whole soul. But me and you, and some people, you know, that's how we find it. You know? So I just hope that, you know, we had a good topic tonight. You know, I expressed my views, you know, about what's going on in our country. And as we laugh at them in that landslide, and I'm going to talk with Minnis, but Minnis, you know, as the former prime minister, what if this guy made anywhere from 50 to 60, probably $700 million, $70 million or $80 million just off being the prime minister? I'm just saying that. I'm saying he have this. And we're here cheering and saying, boy, he got whooped. Man, the man got more money what he make off the Bahamian people in that 3 or 4 years than what 70 or 80,000 Bahamian people combined together can't make in 5 to 10 years. But that man made that kind of money in 4 years. That's the former prime minister. Now, I'm not saying that he did this, but when we ask, no disrespect to the late great Lyndon Pinlin, I don't know how rich he was before he entered politics, right? And I respect him highly, but I ain't holding no punches. And just say if he was a local boy, he got funds from certain surrounding and everything, and he probably weighed about $50,000 back in 1960. And then he go in politics. And then, according to the Constitution or the laws, even if a member of parliament even thinks about using his position as a minister to self-gain, is against the law. Okay? Now let's go back to Lyndon. And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm telling you the truth. So that those who are listening can see it makes sense. So just say if he's worth $50,000 before he went into politics. Now he went into politics after serving 25 years. He comes over $10 million. How did he get this $10 million? Now, I'm just giving that. But some people around the country said, this man had 2, 3, 4, 5, $100 million. Right? Same thing could be said about Ingram. All the members of Parliament who probably was in the thousands of dollars when they first entered Parliament, and when they leave after serving 20, 25 years, some accumulate over 20, 30, might even be more, 40, 50, 60 million. So if you look at that, what it tells you, so there's some truth to it, because you go in there, wait a certain amount of money, you serve a certain amount of time, and then you're a multi-millionaire. And that's just about every member of parliament who goes in there. We hear them having houses being built on either side. Huh? So think about this. You don't think there's some truth to this? Then look at Hubert Ingram. No disrespect to Hubert Ingram. I understand we were fighting against oppression. I understand Lyndon Pinlin was fighting against oppression just as very well. All of us as well was fighting for a better way of life. You understand? But at the same time, they accumulate wealth because of politics. You understand? So I had the music playing. So I guess the producer's saying we're going to have to take a break. And then we come back and we continue this conversation on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Manners and respect was like a sign blank check. It seems the ones that coming after quick to disrespect. You see, this life in the ghetto never easy. So many hungry days break till it grieve me. But I doing the best I can, trying to turn my dollar to 100 grand. I represent the ghetto people I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up Bintan, bro. Boy, I from Bintan, bro. Don't take no back talk, no bribe or no joke.
Okay, time went so fast. I just want to finish this real quick. Then Hubert Ingram, former leader of the Free National Movement, they came in before they were prime ministers or ministers, and over the course of their political career, they're in the millions. And we can say that to many different people on both sides of the political scene. So, and again, we coming under the British rule. We're looking for a better way of life, and that's the way to get in politics. That's why many of them went into politics. But in the course of that, a lot of them become corrupt And instead of trickling in down some of the money that you receive, knowing that you're trying to empower yourself, empower your party members, you left a lot of the quarter million or 500,000 or 1 million people, the few who in the political party, and the FNM and the PLP and all those business owners who are associated with them, they accumulated the majority of the funds. So the money goes in their hands. So it's like it's going 100 people on. So you get $1 billion or $2 billion going into about 20 people's hands, right? But what if those people decide, I'm going to give back. I don't need, as a former prime minister, I don't need $20 million or $30 million. I thief, right? So I could keep on 6, 7, and I'm going to put a program in place where I'm going to help scholarships, fixing homes, and etc. And I'm going to encourage my other members to do the same thing. You don't need that 20 million. Keep 15. Keep 5 back. But these guys just want to keep everything. And that is not what we fought for. That was not what the PLV was formed for. That is not what the Free National Movement was formed for. Okay? So I have to go. I want to give a shout out to my sponsors, Drifters, Restaurant and Bar, Fish Fry. Also give a shout out to my friend Scrubber for his wonderful restaurant called it Joey's. So if you're looking for nice food, stop by to Joey's, stop by to Drifters. And I want to say a special good night to my friend Kato, the sponsor of the show. So I'll see you next week on Inside the NCD.
The ghetto people I from Nassau, Bahamas, big up in town, bro. Boy, I from Bintan, bro. Don't take no back talk, no bribe or no joke. If you find fire, you definitely find smoke. Bintan, bro. Boy, I from Bintan, bro.